Welcome to another episode of Follow the Brand. I am your host, Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM, a 5-star personal branding and business development company. I want to take you on a journey that takes another deep dive into the world of personal branding and business development using compelling personal stories, business conversations, and tips to improve your personal brand. By listening to the Follow the Brand podcast series, you will be able to differentiate yourself from the competition and allow you to build trust with prospective clients and employers. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Make it one that will set you apart, build trust, and reflect who you are. Developing your 5-star personal brand is a great way to demonstrate your skills and knowledge. If you have any questions for me or my guests, please email me at grant.mcgaugh, spelled M-C-G-A-U-G-H, at 5-star BDM, B for brand, D for development, M for masters.com. Now let's begin with our next 5-star episode on Follow the Brand. Welcome to the Follow the Brand podcast. I'm your host, Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM, where we help you to build a 5-star brand people will follow. Today's episode features an extraordinary journey from Liberty City streets to the strategic corridors of AT&T. Joining us is Rashad D Thomas, a man whose life reflects significant transformation and community uplift. Rashad's community engagement work and leadership initiatives have left a lasting impact, offering a blueprint for positive change. We unfold Rashad's personal narrative, shedding light on the steps he took to rise above challenges and make a real difference both in his career and in his community. This isn't just about celebrating Rashad's success. It's about understanding the path he carved for others to follow. Our conversation then turns to the power of human connection. We explore how Rashad's approach to building relationships has reshaped his world and how simple, genuine interactions can lead to substantial outcomes in any aspect of life, especially in nurturing the next generation of leaders. In discussing parenting, Rashad and I share real-life examples of how we're raising our children to respect diversity and practice inclusivity and aiming to break down barriers and foster a world of equality and respect. The story of his family business illustrates the essence of entrepreneurship and community support. It's a vivid reminder that with the right support and hard work, dreams can turn into reality. We also spotlight men's crucial role in enriching their communities, emphasizing the positive impact of role models and community leaders. We extend a heartfelt invitation to you, our listeners, to join in. This episode is packed with inspiring stories and insights, offering not just a glimpse into remarkable journeys, but also practical advice for fostering change and growth in your own life and surroundings. So let's dive in and discover the story of Rashad D Thomas on the Follow the Brand podcast, where we are building a 5-star brand that you can follow. Welcome everybody to the Follow the Brand podcast. This is your host, Grant McGaugh. We're going to take you right here to Dade County, one of my favorite locations. Lots of history in Dade County, man. I love Dade County. There's so much going on. Some people really don't know the history and what's really going on, especially in the Black community. When you start thinking about what the world was like in Overtown, what was the world like in Liberty City, what was the world like in North Miami, all these different things. Sometimes we get a lot of negative imagery that comes out of these areas today, not understanding this is a home for a lot of people. And there's so many different stories, so many success stories. I want to introduce you to Rashad. Rashad and me were honored through Project 12 just recently. And I had seen Rashad, in different business settings, different networking settings. We've always, hey, how you doing? Chopped it up a little bit. And now we have an opportunity to have this conversation around life. Have some life conversation. We want to talk to our Black men because Project 12 is all about elevating the positive role models that are in our community and bringing them to the forefront. Because a lot of times in the media, especially, that is not the case. That does not make headline news. We're going to make news today on the Fatherhood podcast by talking to someone that has a background almost similar to me, meaning he's not working in information technology. I've been in information technology for 20, 25 years. He's doing it from a media perspective. He's doing it from a government perspective. And he has a story to tell. And I want him to introduce himself. Rashad, go right ahead.
Awesome, man. Hey, Grant, I appreciate the opportunity to be here. And I know your platform is doing some amazing things. So to be able to be on your platform to tell my story, I'm extremely honored. So thank you very much, Grant. But as you stated, I'm Rashad D Thomas, Miami native, raised in Liberty City, went to Coral Gables High School. I went to Bethune-Cookman University and came back and worked for Miami-Dade County for several years. And did a lot of amazing things in the community with the blessings of the Lord. And now having the opportunity to now work for AT&T in external and governmental affairs, I'm extremely honored. So Grant, once again, thank you very much for providing me with this opportunity to share my story and to use your platform to reach others that may be trying to figure out how to get to the next level. So Grant, thank you very much.
You're most welcome. We're going to jump right in. We've had this conversation, and I want to set the stage of the narrative. And you just recently had some information that you had put out on your YouTube, and you talked about your life story, which is very touching. And I've seen so many different people, especially in that K through 12 world, those 10, 11, 12-year-old boys right now that are in Liberty City or they're in other areas we call underrepresented communities, whatever that may mean. Mm-hmm. And you were one of these kids. You've got a certain background that a lot of people have, these situations, these circumstances that occur, that you're in an environment that may be surrounded by certain things that are not good for your health when it comes to career development, business development. You made choices that put you on a different path. Tell us about your mindset. Talk to that 12-year-old right now and say, hey, here are some other options that you may go through, that you may walk upon to get to a different outcome.
Oh, man, great. So, growing up in Liberty City, it was definitely challenging. But as they always say, I had a praying grandmother. And it was the prayers of the righteous that got me to where I'm at right now. Because if I was able to turn back the hands of time, there's a lot I would change. But I'm thankful for the things that I went through to put me to the point in life where I'm at right now. And if I could talk to that 12-year-old boy, I would tell him to understand the importance of a network. I would tell him to not just connect with your friends and not just think that the people that are connected to you at that moment in life would be of value. It's okay to continue to love them and continue to cherish those moments, but understand that you need to extend your hand outside of your comfort zone in order to challenge yourself. Because it's okay. You're always comfortable around your peers, but when you step into certain rooms and certain settings, sometimes the way you feel, it changes. And being able to adapt to certain situations early in life will take you a long ways. Because I'm not sure about you, Grant, but I call myself a late bloomer because it took years for me to get comfortable in certain settings. And even still to this day, I'm still, that guy that I'm very comfortable, but I still have to learn how to work every room, because I say I'm a late bloomer and you can't be the same. You have to be who you are, but certain rooms you have to change and you have to adapt to the environment. So learning how to do those things early in life, I think is very, very critical. And that's what I actually challenge my 17-year-old son. I'm always telling him, man, go out and identify a network. At this point in life, he's preparing to go to the military. And I'm telling him, hey, the military is not for you to go and make a bunch of friends for life. You will make friends, but it's about identifying the people within that you can create a network with. Find out who's up top, who's doing what, because those are the people that can assist you in life. As they say, your network is your net worth. The people that you know have a lot to do with the outcome of your success in life. Because for me right now, being with AT&T, it's not because I completed an application or I saw something online. No, it was the mere fact that I had connected with a network, and when the opportunity presented itself, someone within my network thought that I would be a good fit within this opportunity, and that's how it landed. As I stated, your network is your net worth. So I would definitely encourage that 12-year-old to get out more. You know, and even like professionals now, young professionals, they sit back and see other people climbing, and they say, hey, what about me? No one is looking at me. No one has come and given me the opportunity. But you have to ask yourself, what are you doing to capture that opportunity? Are you just sitting back expecting for people to identify you, or are you getting out and going out so people can know who you are? Are you doing things in the community so people will know who you are? So you have to be willing to give of yourself in order for others to realize your value. So yeah. So for that 12-year-old Grant, I would have told him, network.
And this is so important. I remember growing up, and I grew up in Omaha, Nebraska, totally different world than Dade County. However, similar circumstances are still there that everyone can relate to. But I do remember going to like police camp. Now, police camp, I was like 10, 11 years old. We would get to know our officers in the community. So we would go to a camp for a whole entire week. They would take us through all kinds of, different circumstances. You're in a log cabin. You're doing different sports. You're learning all these kinds of things. So then when you go back out in the community, you kind of know who those officers are. That's just one aspect of expanding your network, because you got people from all over the city that would come together. And then as you grew up, you kind of knew who they were when they got into high school and things like that. I really, really like those programs. I don't see as many today, but I know there's some out there, but you have to be proactive in getting to them. I will bring up another point. You brought up about how you identify yourself, your self-awareness, your brand, how you see yourself is so important. And I remember being in my 30s, and I was actually living in New England at the time, and I was going through this identity crisis. Like, who am I? How do I see myself? And I remember talking to, now my ex-wife is Native American. So I was able to talk to a Native American elder, and he was talking about his language. He was talking about his culture. He was talking about all these things that he was able to retain that helped him in life. And like, wow, you know what? I've lost that as from that African aspect. I'm African American. I don't know my language. I don't know the tribe that I'm from. I'm feeling kind of lost. He said, Grant. I said, yes. He said, tell me who you are. And I'm like, well, I grew up in Omaha. I'm African American. He said, no. Tell me who you are. And I went, what do you mean? He said, no, you don't know who you are. I said, help me understand. He said, you are a human being. Whoa, a human. He said, you are a human being. You can talk to any other human being on the basis of just being a human being, whether they are the king or a barber, whether the country, culture, language, it doesn't matter. Look a person in the eye as a human being, and you will be able to connect with that particular person. Always remember you are a human being. That conversation helped me so much, because before I'm even a man, before I'm even a Black man, before I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, all those things, I'm a human being first. And that helped me to walk into a room, whether it's a boardroom full of different people that are completely different from me, and connect on the basis of being a human being. And that connectivity automatically gave me the card to be in the room. And I say you've done that as well.
Yes, sir. which was very important. And it took time, as you stated. I was probably in my 30s at the same time, right? Trying to figure this out. I love to tell the story of me being at a United Way event, and I was comfortable sitting in the back room of that event, and I was okay. I was in my phone, and all right, boom. When it was time to go to happy hour, and be amongst everyone that was in that attending that meeting, I felt out of place. Because everyone in that room did not look like me. Even though I was from Liberty City, I went to Coral Gables. But me going to Coral Gables, I was an athlete. So playing football, it was okay. I was very comfortable with the football team because they were my peers. But now here it is, years later, as a young professional, I'm sitting in a room with other young professionals. But in my mind, everybody in that room trumped me for some reason, and because I didn't understand my value. Because I didn't start early, because after I left Coral Gables and I went to college, I kind of went into a shell of just connecting with those that was in my immediate circle. So now, years later, I'm working in the mayor's office, and now it's like I'm being voluntold, to connect with professionals. I'm like, man, no, that's not me. But it was one of the best things that I could have been forced or voluntold to do. And that was to get out there and start connecting with other professionals. And being in that room that day, looking at it, there was a mirror on top of the bar where we were at. And I was looking around, and everyone in that room didn't look like me. And for some reason, there was a guy on my shoulder kept telling me that I didn't belong there. And I wound up listening to that guy, and I left. But that day, it was that was my defining moment in life of saying, no, Rashad, you have to figure this out. You have to learn how to, adjust and adapt to every room that you're in. I mean, no matter if it's, the fellas, just some guys that you play ball with. You have to be able to adapt with every professional, whether it's male, female, Asian, Hispanic, no matter what, culturally being able to also adapt culturally. So those were things that I had to learn late in life, but I'm grateful that I was able to learn. So I'm now able to teach my three boys how to move and, how to say, shake hands and kiss babies,
You've been doing that. Well, before we even go into your professional career, I want to talk about the family nucleus. You were married, you had three boys, you've been raising them. This almost goes against that narrative that we always hear about single Black woman raising her kid by herself and separate from the Black male, being outside of the nucleus of the family. That's not the narrative that your boys are growing up with. Help people understand, first of all, the importance of a male figure and how you've been able to maintain your family through the ups and downs of life.
So first, Grant, let me say I'm actually a daddy bear. If my wife was, engaged in this conversation, she would tell you I do not mess with Rashad and his boys. Because when people who see me out in the community and they always ask me, "Do you sleep?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I sleep," but they don't know I also have a full life at home. I'm the guy at home. I cook, I clean, I do the laundry. And anybody that want to test me, feel free to ask my wife or ask my boys. So I'm that guy. I believe in showing my boys how to position themselves in life, and how to be independent and be helpful. And not just be that guy that old school. Oh, a woman's supposed to cook my meal and put it on. It's like, no, you have to be able to treat a woman like a woman and be helpful in a home. That makes that home setting more loving and more valuable and more cherishing. But as it pertains to being able to take my continue to bless my family, I can remember back in my son was born in 2006, so I would say 2010. I was coaching my son. We were on the park. I was coaching him on the park, and my wife was working for Miami-Dade County. I also was working for the county, and the mayor came in. And when the mayor came, who came over, who was elected to run the county, he needed to find ways to...
Ready to elevate your brand with 5-star impact? Welcome to the Funnel Brand Podcast, your gateway to exceptional personal growth and innovative business strategies. Join me as I unveil the insider strategies of industry pioneers and branding experts. Discover how to supercharge your business development, harness the power of AI for growth, and sculpt a personal brand that stands out in the crowd. Transform ambition into achievement. Explore more at 5starbdm.com for a wealth of resources. Ignite your journey with our Brave Brand Blueprint and begin crafting your standout 5-star future today.
Find money to put back into the county. So what he did was he started reducing everyone's pay within the county. So my wife was already a bottom tier employee, and I was probably almost close to the bottom, and so we wasn't making a lot of money, but we had just purchased a home. And when we purchased that home, and now, with a cut in pay, it was like, hey, what are we going to do? How are we going to, make up this money so that we can continue to live our life? We just had our first son, and things were looking as if they were going to change. And I went to my wife and I said, hey, I remember back in the days when you and your mom was selling this like a snow cone product. You think we could get some of that and sell it on the park? And she, told me where we could get it from. And we went and purchased some and went on the park. First day we went on the park, got kicked out the park. Like, hey, you can't be out here. Somebody has the vending rights to be out here in this park. And I'm like, what do you mean? Because I didn't understand business at the time. I just, knew nothing about business. It's just like, hey, I just want to sell a product. And they say, hey, somebody has the rights. And for me, I'm still like, man, I'm coming back out the next day. The next day I come back on the park, same thing. This time they have code enforcement. Code enforcement is taking pictures. They're like, sir, you can't be out here on the park. You have to find out who has the rights. I went to the concession stand, asked for a contact number. They gave me a number. I reached out. When I reached out, it was a young couple who blessed me with a meeting. And when we sat down, it was a young lady by the name of Anisha Randall, who's a good friend right now. She's the owner of Shucking the Job in Juanita's Kitchen. She sat down with me with her grandmother, Miss Juanita, and they explained to me that there was a family business and they were keeping everything in house. But they gave me that but, and they say but there's something about you, Grandma. That's what the grandmother said, and I just want to give you an opportunity. And I was, I say, well, I appreciate that. So we sat there and continued to talk, and she gave me another but. She said, but you can't come out looking like just with a table and tent. You have to come out looking like a business because we are running a business. So like I said, at the time, me and my wife had just said pay cuts. And it was like, where are we going to, come up with this money to invest into this business? We just purchased a home and, fixed up, remodeled the home. And so it was like, okay, we have to figure this out. So we started going online, searching for ice cream carts. All the ice cream carts were going for $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. So I was like, we don't have $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 to just throw out that right now to invest. So we, kept looking daily. We would look. So one day my wife put an ice cart. Actually, by mistake, instead of ice cream cart, she put an ice cart. And this dry ice cart pops up that was in California for $99. So I reached out to the guy and said, hey, so I would love to buy that cart that you're selling. And he said, hey, yeah, come on and get it, $99. I said, no, but I'm in Florida. He said, oh, man, no way. He said it's going to cost me more to ship it than, what I want for it. I said, sir, I'm paying for the shipping and I'm paying for the cart. Send it to me. So it wound up costing a little $300 to start what is now called Miami Slush. And I'll jokingly tell you, we actually, like I said, now, we didn't know anything about business. I said, I have this slush. So I went online and took the Slush Pup logo and slapped it on the side of my cart, had some slush. And this was somebody else's logo that I, had got offline. But I said, I didn't know anything about business. And after some time, I realized, like, you didn't create your own logo. And I created the company with what is now called Miami Slush. And I took that cart, man, and I would push that cart around the park. And I had a song. The kids would see me. They used to call me Mr. Ice Cold because I would push that cart around the park. I would ice cold, ice cold, ice cold slush. And whatever flavors, I was either cherry, mango, green apple, pineapple. And, just go back into my ice cold. And I would hustle. And at the time, I was also officiating youth league football. So I would be trying to run the business and officiate football until I realized I'm like, I have to give up one. So I gave up officiating, which I loved because I love kids. But still now being able to continue to work with the kids and not give kids opportunities in business. But we took that one cart and continued to grind until we purchased the trailer. And we purchased the trailer, which led to us eventually purchasing a food trailer, which is also called Fryhead. So that can be, so you got at Miami Slush on Instagram, and you have at Fryhead Miami, which my wife runs, operates, which is a gourmet mobile bistro with gourmet fries, fried lobster, buttermilk chicken on a stick, fried corn, everything, seafood, mac and cheese. And then we also got my son in the business. He wanted to start his own little slushy business. So we started him called Pop's Frozen Treats. So he does his own events on the weekends, and which eventually led to us purchasing a brick and mortar, which is Ice Cream Heaven in the city of Miami Gardens. So if anyone is ever in the city of Miami Gardens, stop by Ice Cream Heaven, and you can also follow us at Ice Cream Heaven MG for Miami Gardens, because it's located right on 27th Avenue and right off of 174th Street. So my wife runs and operates that as well. And just to also say how much of, as they say, a man that findeth the wife findeth a great thing. So that same vendor contract that Arnisha Randolph had, and she operated for the city of Miami Gardens, that's why we couldn't get the opportunity. Well, guess who has that contract? Mrs. Thomas. Yeah. So it's one of those things where, you start learning the business and you continue to elevate and continue to, as they say, level up. So, we started out as just trying to figure out business to, now it's having our own brick and mortar and several mobile concession bistros. And not even just my wife, her sisters have also joint efforts with Grilling and Chilling Miami and Miami Rice. So yeah, it's a family affair now. So,
oh man, you've answered that question. First of all, you got the whole family working together, understanding the entrepreneurial spirit of business, how to apply yourself, having the circumstances that come your way, and not just fold under those circumstances, but actually strive and thrive under those circumstances, and keeping all those things working. So you've got your business, you've got your career, you've got all this working for you. And you're a great example for your children. Like, hey, no matter what you do, you always have an opportunity to make money and sustain yourself. And then you make the choices that you want to make. And now you got other parts of your family also involved. Man, that's such a great story. I think a lot of people, especially in the inner city community, can understand, like, wow, instead of going out and doing something illegal in these parks, you're doing something very, very legal. You had to understand how to do it, but you got creative and you grew and you began to actually create a business opportunity that sustains you even to this day. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. Now, talk to me about, because you AT&T, you're at AT&T, you have a particular job. Help us understand your position. What is you're like a liaison with AT&T and all these different government entities. Help us understand your role there, Rashad.
Yes, I'm the regional director of external affairs for Florida, overseeing Miami-Dade and parts of Broward County. So I work with a lot of the elected officials, whether it be the local electeds or the state electeds. So I have certain cities. So Miami-Dade County has 37 municipalities, and it's split between me and one of my colleagues. And then I have another colleague that I split parts of Broward County. So I work within those cities to ensure that any issues that may be going on in those cities, that we can address those issues. So I work with those commissioners, I work with the senators, I work with the state representatives, I work with the mayor regarding different concerns they may have, as well as working with other nonprofits that those elected officials support, so that we can have a presence in the community to show that AT&T cares about the community. So I also sit on several boards representing AT&T. So it's my role is very critical in the community to show that AT&T wants to make an impact in the community. As of right now, our main focus is on bridging the digital divide. I always get tongue twisted with that. But we've worked closely with the Overtown Youth Center, where we've put in a computer lab, working with Tina Brown. We also did a laptop distribution with Tina and her team. We gave out 200 laptops. We also worked with the Orange Bowl Committee and my state director, Alex Dominguez, and who just was elected to be on the Orange Bowl Committee. So we worked closely with them. We worked with Branches. We worked with the 100 Black Men. So just being able to tap into several organizations, City Year, After School All-Stars, and those are boards that I'm actually preparing to be the incoming chair. Because like I say, my impact is all about the youth. So yeah, my role with AT&T is very critical as it pertains to having a presence in the community, while also working with state and local elected officials.
I love that. The digital divide, addressing that. I think with COVID and what happened during that time, and we had to pivot most of the world into the digital world. And if you did not have access to it, you didn't have access to the internet, you couldn't do schoolwork, you couldn't do work, period. Or if you even had slow connectivity, it would become very, very difficult. And we all are seeing, because of the advent of now artificial intelligence, that you've got to have high-speed internet in order to interact with this new global economy, especially if it starts to go into what they call Internet 3.0, which is going to get into Web 3.0, the blockchain technology, getting into the metaverse, virtual reality, all these things. And our community, first of all, we're very, very socially minded. We understand from our mobile computing world that, hey, that mobile computing, I can do so many things. I have access to communication worldwide. To your point earlier, talking about being in that bubble, before when we were probably growing up, your access to getting outside of that one community was limited because of, you only had news, you maybe had radio, you might have had some print, you might have got the Jet magazine every now and then, every month, and kind of see what else was going on. Now you can see everything that's going on, but it's a choice you have to make in order to, instead of watching something that could be detrimental, that gives you no educational value, does that help you in life to, I'm going to be intentional about tuning myself to things that can help me grow. Just like this program, we're talking to Rashad Thomas, AT&T. He's running his own business as well, and you're learning about business and career and what your opportunities are if you apply yourself. Before I leave you, I want to give you the mic, because I think it's so important as you think through all the things that we've talked about thus far. If you had to leave us with any other source of inspiration, how these kids and how our male figures can get more involved, become more visible in their community with positive images and activities, what would you say?
I would say it's our job to help change the narrative. It's our job to get out into the community as men, no matter the color, no matter the ethnicity. It's important for men to get out into the community, to work with the community, to work with others in the community. It's important for us to work together because we are the strong individuals that can continue to carry our communities to where they need to go. We are the ones that they look up to for examples, and they come to when they need guidance. So we have to be the strong individuals to continue carrying our community to the next level. So, gentlemen, let's continue to work together. Let's partner. Let's find ways to continue to have a presence in our community, just like Project 12 represented some high-level Black professionals. There are a lot of amazing men in this community doing a lot of amazing things, and we need to learn how to continue to join efforts to continue to show a presence.
Absolutely, and we will do that. Now, how do we get in contact with you? And I'm going to head down to 174th Street, right after this episode. How about that?
My man, I appreciate it. But like I say, to get in contact with me, you can follow me on Instagram at Miami Rashad, Facebook Rashad D Thomas, LinkedIn Rashad D Thomas, and please follow at Miami Slush, at Fryhead Miami, at Ice Cream Heaven MG, and I must also mention that I also have a foundation called at T5 Foundation. I do a huge Easter event. It's called the T5 Easter Day Extravaganza. This year is going to be held on Sunday, March 31st at Trash Pile Stadium. We do a helicopter egg drop. It's going to be an amazing, fun time. We've also partnered with Piano Slam. So we'll have a lot of kids out doing a lot of great performances and et cetera. We'll have a lot of different entertainment. We'll have fingerprinting. We'll have animal services, blood. We'll have it all. So it's a community affair. So if you're free March 31st, Sunday, March 31st, come out to Trash Pile Stadium on Easter from noon to 4 p.m. and have a great time.
Tell me that one more time, the location. Where exactly is that?
That's actually Miami-Dade College North. It's the stadium right there where all the big football games are held, right there on Miami-Dade College North campus. It's the stadium right off of 27th, and it's right off of 107th Street. So, yeah, but you can also follow, I think it's the at T5 Foundation on Facebook to keep up with everything regarding the event. But I'll also be posting on my socials once all the approved flyers come out. Yeah.
Well, Follow Brand will definitely be there. I cannot wait for that moment. I love Easter, and that is going to be great. I encourage your entire audience to tune in to Follow Brand at 5-Star BDM. That is the number 5-Star STARBDM. That is for branddevelopmentmaster.com. You're going to have over 150 episodes. When you tune in, you're going to see people like Rashad. You're going to get information around technology and innovation, career and business development, financial empowerment, executive presence, and many, 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 many other things around brand mastery. I want to thank you so much for being on the show, Rashad Thomas.
No, I appreciate it, Grant. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for sharing the platform.
Oh, you're most welcome. Thanks for joining us on the Follow Brand Podcast. Big thanks to Full Effect Productions for their incredible support on each and every episode. Now the journey continues on our YouTube channel, Follow Brand TV series. Dive into exclusive interviews, extended content, and bonus insights that will fuel your success. Subscribe now and be a part of our growing community, sharing and learning together. Explore, engage, and elevate at Follow Brand TV series on YouTube. Stay connected, stay inspired. Till next time, we will continue building a 5-star brand that you